Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to Love.Live.Dance. If you are returning, if you are brand new, hello, hello, hello. I am Samantha. I'm the owner and primary instructor for Love.Live.Dance in Salt Lake City, Utah. And we are going to be talking about Cha-Cha today. Ooh, and we have new followers. Thank you, Whimsy Cat. So we are going to be doing some basic cha-cha today. For those that have been following us since the beginning, this is the third. Oh, thank you as well, co-opposites. We have been using our Friday stream to go over basic social dance moves that if you have no prior dance experience, it's a good starting place for you. And if you do have prior dance experience, these are basics that we all should be working on and focusing on anyway. And they work really well in your small living room or kitchen or bedroom or wherever you have 10 square feet, if that, of open space that you can use to practice. So, like I said, today we are doing basic cha-cha. Cha-cha is both a rhythm and a Latin dance. So if you are doing an American 9 dance, it is a rhythm dance. And if you are doing International 10 dance or International 5 for Latin, it is a Latin dance. The differentiation between the two are a couple of different patterns, and mainly the leg action and the technique involved. So what we're going to be talking about today does not involve any of that. So it is universal beginner cha-cha, and we can get into the difference between American and international leg action in a way far in the future stream. But let's go ahead and get started. I will switch over to the dance cam. If you have any questions as we go along, please do pop those in the chat or just say hey if you want to. I always appreciate that. But we'll switch over to the dance cam, and I'll bring out my lovely husband, and we'll get started.
Yep.
Repping the WVU gear today.
Yep.
So our basic cha-cha is going to be the same footwork for the lead as the follow. So we're doing the same thing, just like in waltz and in rumba. I'm just switching the order of operations. So I'm going to be doing the second half first and the first half second. But we'll start together, same footwork. So I am going to start with a prep step to my right. And what I mean by that is this is a step that we're only going to do once. It's the first thing that we're going to do, and then from there it no longer exists. So we're going to take a side step to our side with our right for one. Then I'm going to rock forward on my left. So I have a forward step, and then I rock back. So I'm shifting my weight forward on my left and then backwards on my right.
Okay.
Then I'm going to take 3 steps to my left for side, together, side. From here, I'm going to step backwards on my right, rock step, and then 3 steps to my side, side, together, side. Let me move a cat that decides to be nosy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Okay, so we're going to take that prep step to start. So we have 1, then we're going to do our rock step, 2, 3, and then side, together, side, back rock, 2, 3, side, together, side.
Okay.
Let's try that again. So from our prep step, we have 1, 2, 3. We're going to count our side step as 4 and 1. Rock back, 2, 3, 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4 and 1. 2, 3,
Okay.
4 and 1.
This seems simple enough
Okay.
so far.
I'm going to count it a lot faster now because as you kind of discovered, I count things slow to start with and then I increase the speed. How about you get down? There we go. Okay. All right. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1. Back on the right. 4 and 1.
Is this
Forward
as
left.
fast as it gets?
For today, this is as
Okay.
fast as it gets.
Because this is about as
2,
fast as I probably
3,
would move.
4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1,
Okay.
2, 3, and 4 and 1.
All right.
All right. Very quickly, if you are a follow, we're going to be doing the same thing, except our prep step is going to be to the side with our left. So we're prepping on 1, and then we're doing the entire sequence. So I'm going back on the right, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and then forward on my left, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Nice and simple. Any questions so far?
No.
Let me know in the chat if we're having any latency issues. I see a little red thing on the bottom of my screen, but I don't know if that means that something happened on our end or something happened elsewhere. So if the stream's lagging, let me know. Let's go ahead and try this together. So we're going to be using our same frame as we have
Beach ball.
Beach ball for our rumba, for our waltz, etc.
Okay.
Alrighty. So
Beach
I'm still
ball.
offset, you're still offset. We're clasping hands. My left hand's on your bicep, your right hand is on my shoulder blade. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2.
Am I doing this
4
correctly?
and 1. You are doing the count on these steps correct. We'll
Okay.
talk about feet here in a moment.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and
I would
1.
have assumed that the
2,
first 2
3,
implied the
4
third.
and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's our basic step. So the comment that I made about feet, let's talk about that real quick. So if you are practicing this at home because you are a beginner and you're following along with us from scratch, don't stress out about what I'm about to say too much. If you are an advanced dancer, if you're one of my students that's tuning in, or if you are a general ballroom dancer, please, please, please make sure that you are practicing this because it is going to be the first thing that your teacher notices if you are not doing this. So these are all what we refer to as toe leads.
Okay.
Meaning that I am keeping my big toe glued to the ground and I'm pretending like I'm dragging my foot through the sand or I'm dragging something underneath the ball of my foot. So as I'm taking my steps, I'm going to feel free to lift my heels off the ground, but I'm not going to take my toes off the ground. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1.
But that's the advanced version, right? Like I don't need to worry about that.
I am going to have you worry about it because for today I am your dance instructor.
We'll see.
So it is something that if I feel you do it incorrectly, or if I see you do it incorrectly, I'm going to bring it up because it is incredibly important.
Okay.
And it sets the foundation for all of your future cha-chaing.
Alrighty.
Alright?
Yep.
Let's
drag the toe.
Drag the toe, yes. If you're at home and you're practicing, you can grab a small sheet of paper or a Kleenex. If you are hoarding toilet paper, you can grab an extra sheet of toilet paper and put it under your big toe. And make sure that as you're going through this, that you're moving that piece of paper along with you the entire time. You don't want to lose it midway through your basic, because that means you lifted your foot off the ground.
Okay. And that also applies for the step forward and the step back.
Yes,
that's just
the
the
rock
side to
steps
side.
as well. It's all of your steps.
Okay.
Everything that we do today, we want to think like our big toe has a magnet and the floor is a piece of metal.
All right. Can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
So some of the things we've done, the step forward and back has been at 45 degrees. Sometimes it's at 90 degrees. Is this 45 degrees or is it 90 degrees?
If I'm understanding you correctly, it's at 90 degrees. So we're stepping directly forward.
I'm thinking of like
and we're stepping directly back. We're not rotating.
The fifth position things or whatever we were doing on Wednesday, I think.
Yes.
That was at 45 degrees, right?
Correct, because you're rotating your whole body. This, you're staying straight with your partner.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good thing to bring up. When you start dancing this with a partner, if you notice that you're kicking your partner or your partner is kicking you, it probably means that one of you is not stepping directly forward on their left foot. You're stepping across, or you're stepping...
Or lifting your foot.
Or you're lifting your foot. But you can still, like, shove, I guess. So this plays off of an optical illusion. So if I think... that my feet are on two train tracks, and unfortunately for us, our boards are running horizontal rather than vertical. You want to take your step forward as if you're still on parallel boards, or you've got parallel train tracks. I don't want to bring my left foot forward, like I'm on a balance beam, or across, like I'm crossing over myself. I want to make sure that as I step forward, if I bring my feet together, they're still on parallel tracks. They're still separate from each other. And that happens the same way as you're going backwards too. I don't want to cross over myself, and I don't want to be on a balance beam. I want to be on parallel tracks in this.
So it's like a step.
It's a step, exactly. It's a rock step.
I can step.
Excellent, excellent. Let's go ahead and try this with music just so you get a sense of tempo.
Okay.
And then we're going to make it infinitely more complicated.
That's normally how it progresses.
I joke.
Turn
this down just a little bit in the chat. There we go.
Alright. Beach ball.
Yes.
Alright.
5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3.
That's a little bit quicker.
2, 3, 4, and 1, 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 2, 3, and 1, 2.
I feel like I'm falling behind a little bit.
2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1.
I remembered I was supposed to be dragging my toe.
Yeah.
And
the rest kind of fell apart?
Yeah, that's a pretty good description.
That's alright. That was not bad. That was not bad at all.
Okay. It was a little quick.
It's a little quick. And cha-cha is definitely one of the faster times that you'll have, mainly because of that syncopated step in the middle. So what we refer to as the cha-cha-cha, I'm counting as 4 and 1. It's a syncopated beat, meaning that we are separating one of our counts into two separate steps that each take half a count.
Okay.
So if you are a music person, it would be whole, 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 half, half, whole. I'm taking two steps in the same time as one step.
Okay. I just step when you tell me to step.
There we go. It translates to it's slightly faster.
Okay.
So the next pattern that I would normally get into with beginner students that
Uh-huh.
are wanting to learn how to social dance would be what we refer to as either New Yorkers or crossover breaks. They are referred to as New Yorkers in the international syllabus, and they're referred to as crossover breaks in the American syllabus. Typically, some, depending on where you get your book from, you might have one in the other, and chocolate in your peanut butter, so to speak. I'm going to refer to them as crossover breaks for
Okay.
today because logically I think that makes it a little bit easier to explain what's going on. But if you are taking lessons and your teacher talks about New Yorkers, it's the same concept.
Okay. Is this a thing that New Yorkers would be flattered by or offended by?
You know, I genuinely don't know why they're called New Yorkers.
Okay.
Maybe it came out of a New York studio back in the day.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't think it makes a huge difference.
What do I got to do?
Okay, so we're going to start from a whole basic.
Uh-huh.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1,
Uh-huh.
2, 3, 4, and 1. As I do that last 4 and 1,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be lowering my left hand under, so I'm scooping under, and I'm going to place my hand at my partner's waist. And we'll talk about the scoop in a little bit more detail. So I have 4 and 1.
Okay.
My hand is still going to be on my partner's back just to make sure that they don't go anywhere.
Okay.
From here, I'm going to take my hand off of the back, and my left foot and my left hand are going to move together. So I'm going to step across the body, hence crossover, and then I'm going to do my break step, which is a rock step, forward.
Okay.
So I'm stepping forward on my left across the body,
Uh-huh.
replacing my weight on my right. I'm going to turn to face my partner in a 2-hand hold and go side, together, side. Then from here, my right hand and my right foot are going to cross through. So I step across,
Do the same thing.
replace the weight, side, together, side, to the left, 2, 3. Now, as I come back for my 4th time, so I've just gone left, right, left, I'm coming back to my right, which would be the 4th.
Okay.
You've just done 3, you're about to do your 4th. I'm going to switch the hand into either an alligator or a pincher, or I refer to it now as a baby shark, because that normally gets a good laugh. I'm going to flip my hand over, so I'm grabbing the lady's hand upside down, or my partner's hand upside down.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to step through on my right, let go of my partner, pivot to my left shoulder, change my weight to my left foot, and then side, together, side to come back into hold with my partner. So we're going to take this in 3 different sections. Section 1 is getting into it.
Okay.
Section 2 is the actual crossovers themselves.
Uh-huh.
And then section 3 is going to be getting out of it, which is that pivot turn.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do a full basic to start. Let me know in the chat if you've got any questions as we're going through this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. I'm going to bring that hand, my left hand, down to my partner's waist level. Left hand, left foot come through, right arm releases. I have crossover, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2,
Uh-huh.
3, 4, and 1. One more, 2, 3, 4, and 1. I've flipped my hand, so that's a signal to my partner that we're turning. I'm going to step through on my right, pivot, shift my weight back to my left, and then side, together, side, bringing my partner back into frame.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's do it 2 more times from the lead's perspective.
Yeah, there's just a lot of hand stuff. And I'm not going to know where those hands need to be until we're probably doing this together.
Okay, let's do it 2 more times, just focusing on getting the feet comfortable.
Okay.
And then we'll try it together, and then I can break down what the follow has to do in a little bit more detail as well.
Okay.
All right, so we have basic, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, crossover, 2, 3, 4, and 1, I cross, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Last one, 2, 3. Pivot turn, step, turn, and cha, cha, cha. Nice, not
Okay.
bad.
I feel okay with the feet part. It's the hand part that I'm more worried about.
Okay, well in that case, let's go ahead and try it together.
Okay. Did you want to do the follow part first?
Yeah, and when we do this together, I'll talk in a little bit more detail about the signals that we're going to be looking for as follows. But from a footwork perspective, it's exactly the same, just flipping the order. So I have a basic 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. I get the signal that we're doing crossover breaks. My right foot and right hand are going to come through at the same time. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. I'm going to notice that his hand is on top of mine, which is going to let me know that we are coming through with a pivot turn. So I'm going to step forward and through on my left. I'm going to turn to my right, shift my weight to my right foot, and then face my partner for 4 and 1 to get back into frame. So really the only thing different from the follows perspective is going to be that last pivot turn. So we have our last crossover. As I step through on my left, I'm going to continue turning to the outside, and then I'm going to meet my partner back with my basic 4 and 1 or cha-cha-cha. Let's try it very slowly together.
Yeah, very slowly, please.
Okay.
Beach ball.
Beach ball. All right. From a basic. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So you're going to still have your hand on my shoulder at this point, shoulder blade, there we go. But you notice that that hand's coming down and through, so it's waist level. Now we're both going to step through, you're going to release that arm, and we're going to pretend like it's a 3-legged race. 2, 3, 4, and 1. We switch the hand. 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1. Yes, so you're going to flip that hand over. We're going to step through. 2, we release. You're going to find me. 4 and 1. Yeah, we don't close our feet on 1.
Okay. I mean, that seems okay,
We'll
I
do it a
guess.
couple more times.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 1, 2, 3. Flip the hand. 2, 3, 4, and 1.
That may have been worse.
It might have been.
Okay.
It might have been. Let's do it one more time.
Yeah, okay.
And then I'll check in on the chat and see how they're doing.
All right.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 1. Okay, so something that I'm noticing that's happening is you're getting ahead of me.
Which is very unusual. Normally,
Yes.
I'm like a half step behind you.
So on that pivot turn, if we can, so we've just gone 4 and 1, and you're stepping through. Yep, hand is upside down.
Surely there's a smooth way to do this.
Yes, to not grab below to begin with. So come back over here. So step through with your left, 2, 3, go straight. There we go.
Oh, okay. Like that?
Nope.
Like this?
Yes.
But not on the bottom, you said.
No, that's right.
So I start with
you start with
clamp.
the baby shark or clamp. Yeah.
Okay.
So try it again. 2, 3, 4, and 1. Step 2, 3. Okay, that's why. So when you are stepping through, make sure that your weight is completely on your right foot. Turn. And then shift your weight forward on your left.
Okay.
I think what you're doing is split weighting yourself, which is making the pivot slightly more difficult.
Okay. I don't know.
Let's try it one more time.
All right.
So just from that last one.
Oh, just the last
Yep.
piece. Okay.
So 2, 3,
Clamp.
4, and
Oh,
1.
no, I already forgot. Forgot what I was doing.
2, 3, 4, and 1. Step 2, 3, 4, and 1. Better.
Is that better?
That was better. Just make sure you look up. That way you aren't looking at your feet when you're turning. And
Let's progress to looking at something other than my feet eventually. Right now, I need a little bit of reinforcement, I think.
okay. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. So that way we can talk a little bit more in depth about these hands.
Okay.
We're going to take a
Where
couple
we
steps
starting?
back. Yep. All right, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Yep. So before you take that step, so make sure if you're practicing this at home, you're going from a clamped position up here to sweeping through and underneath. That's going to feel really awkward the first like dozen times you do it, but it's going to be really important, and I can talk about why I'm such a stingy person when it comes to this
Well, what am I doing?
in a moment. You're doing it absolutely correctly.
Oh.
Yep. So we're going through 4 and 1, step through 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. Last one, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay.
How's that feel?
It seems all right. I'm probably still screwing up the pivot.
It felt better that time though, and that's the important thing.
Okay.
It did.
Okay.
It did.
I'm probably not dragging my toes either, but
It sounds like you are. You might be skipping a couple steps occasionally.
yeah, probably just a few.
And that happens. That happens. That is not the end of the world. Let me know in chat how we're feeling, how we're doing. I'm going to come over and I'm going to try and find a nice slow cha-cha so we can try this together with music. So if you are in chat right now and you have any questions, like pop them in. If you're having any issues, if you have any clarifications, or if everything is looking great. Awesome. Is this my slow one? That's slightly fast. That's very fast. That's even faster. I think it's gonna be Bongo Madness. Alright.
Alright.
We'll do
Which way
to
are we
the
going?
side. We'll go to the side. Why not?
That way?
Yes.
Alright.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, cha-cha, 1, 2, 3, cha-cha, 1, 2, 3. All right, that's too fast for you.
Yeah, I think it might be.
We'll go back to the first one. I have
That's
a
probably too fast.
feeling that might happen. All right.
Alright.
When we find one that works, we'll just stick with it.
Alright. Beach ball.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Lost ya!
Yeah, you may have lost me just a little bit.
All right, we're gonna do 2. So the folks at home that are practicing along with us, we're gonna do 2 full basics, and on the third one, we'll go into our crossovers.
Okay. And let's give me a mulligan on the toe dragging thing for a moment. I feel like that slows me down.
Okay.
Beach ball.
5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Here we go. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 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 4 and 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
2, 3, 4 and 1, 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 2, 3, 4 and 1.
It's not great.
It's getting there though.
Is it?
Let's do it one more time.
Uh-huh.
2 basics and then we're gonna go into it.
Uh-huh. Alright, count for me.
5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 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 and 1.
You know what I think would help? I think it would really help if when we started that, you allowed me to start it.
But you were going to start it late.
I might have, but it's much more disorienting when you try and start it.
Alright, I will not back lead.
Uh-huh.
5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, here.
I know
2,
this.
3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2.
See, I think that went better without you starting a little bit early on me.
It may have. It may have. I won't argue with you too terribly much about that. I may have been back leading a little bit.
You may have been back leading a lot.
I may have been back leading a lot. But that happens in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You have one partner that knows what they're doing so that they want to assist. And you were absolutely correct as a lead to be like, hey, please don't do that. That's impeding my ability to learn it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I will take that note to heart.
Fair enough.
And I will not interfere here. You're doing good.
All right, I appreciate that, I guess.
You were doing good. You were doing well. A little generously helping?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Cha-cha is rough the first dozen times you do it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I do move slow. And I think that's what you're trying to make up for.
It's a faster dance. It requires the lead to happen at a certain time. Otherwise, your partner's momentum is not going to happen in the way that you're intending it. So I will not back lead nearly as much going forward.
You got to back lead a little.
I'll back lead a
Just
little.
don't back lead a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe is the right way to phrase that.
There you go. I've got 2 more patterns that I'd like to add for today. One is a forward and back basic, and one is what we refer to as chase turns. So we'll get into those. Doing well, and he's keeping his toe on the floor more than he thought. Ha! I love having extra sets of eyes, because then we can celebrate the small victory.
I guess. It was a very small victory and was probably accidental.
Honestly, and this is coming from obviously a different perspective than from the typical student, but for me, once I started doing rumba and cha-cha and mambo and all of the rhythm Latin dances with my toe stuck on the ground, I felt that as soon as I tried to switch back to a heel lead, it slowed me down immediately. So for me, it felt like once I switched the mindset and once I started that muscle memory, I was much faster being on the balls of my toes, or balls of my feet, rather than on the heels of my feet.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
It's the same reason why in sports, like football ready position, you have your weight over the front of your foot, not on the back of your foot.
I guess.
Makes you more active.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to go ahead and move on to our forward and back basic and our chase turns. Yeah, forward and back basic and our chase turns today. So I'm going to switch back to the dance cam. So I'm going to give 2 variations of the forward and back. Both can happen at the same time. So if one partner feels more comfortable with version A, they can do version A while their partner is doing version B, or vice versa, or you can do the same at the same time, which obviously as an instructor would be my preference if both people are on the same page. But certain liberties when it comes to social dancing and practicing on your own.
Okay.
The first is going to be the base level beginner version, which is a forward and back running step.
Running step.
Well, I use the term running very loosely. The second variation is a lock step, which from a competitive perspective is what I would expect to see on a dance floor. But again, social variation, you can do either. So we're going to start going from the lead's perspective. So this is a side step to prep on our right. We're
Uh-huh.
still gonna go, we're actually gonna take like 4 steps forward, so we're just at the edge of the frame because we're
Okay.
going backwards to start.
Oh, okay.
So side step with our right for 1. Same rock step as normal for 2, 3. And then I'm gonna take a step back with my left for 4, step back with my right for and, step back with my left for 1. So that's my run, run, run. Then I'm gonna rock step backwards on my right, rock, step, and then I'm going to run forward. 4 and 1. And again, rock step, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 and 1.
Okay. I mean, it's walking.
It is walking. It's just
Yeah.
very fast walking because again, it's that syncopated beat.
Yeah.
The alternate variation, the step up, the
Uh-huh.
one that I'm going to challenge you to try and do today, is a lock step. And full disclosure, you've actually already done this. Because I made you do it like 3 weeks ago when I was sending a video to my students of what they needed to practice.
Okay. I don't remember that, but you may very well have.
I did.
I was probably just as incredulous then as I am now.
Probably. So still prep step 1, still rock forward 2, 3. Now I'm going to take my step back on my left. I'm going to cross my foot
Oh God, yes.
forward and across with my right, and then I'm going to push back and step to the back with my left. Then I rock, step, and I'm going to do the same thing coming forward. So I step forward on my right,
Uh-huh.
cross my foot behind with my left, push forward with my right. 2, 3, back, cross, back, 2, 3, forward, lock, forward.
Yeah.
2, 3, back, cross, back, 2,
This is a good way
3,
to fall.
forward, lock, forward. So this is when I once again have to put in my disclaimer.
Uh-huh.
Do what is within your bounds.
Uh-huh.
Know your body. You are your best advocate, so don't do anything that's stupid. The second thing is this requires the use of your inner thigh muscle, this part,
Okay.
as a squeezing action. So I'm not
Does it really?
crossing my foot behind.
Oh, so you're
As
not
in,
doing that thing I
I'm
just
not.
did.
I'm not taking a step. I'm not thinking about the physical action of taking a step. I'm instead stepping forward and then squeezing my legs together and then stepping forward. So it releases my knee for just a second. So if I were to do it, see, this way is probably going to be the best way to see it. I have 1, 2, 3. So I'm squeezing and then stepping, squeezing and then stepping, squeezing and then stepping.
I don't know that you're gonna get that part, but
So don't think up.
uh-huh.
Think more like your left knee
Uh-huh.
is kicking your right knee out from
Uh-huh.
underneath you.
Because that makes it sound so much safer.
It's an
Well,
odd sensation, again.
Yeah, I will do what I'm currently doing, and then we can just work on that.
Yeah. Over the next couple weeks,
Yeah.
we can kind of, we can work on that in the background.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Regardless of whether you're doing the forward run or the locking step, you do want to do this in a 2-hand hold with your partner,
Uh-huh.
because if you're in closed hold, you're probably going to kick each other or hit knees. So I'm going to go through the leads perspective, and then I'm going to talk about the follows real quick. I would do this from a side basic. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3. As I take my 4 and 1 to my right, I'm going to create space. So I'm lowering that left hand like I did with my crossover breaks, but I'm also sliding my right hand. So I'm bringing my partner in front of me.
How does that not feel or turn into the New Yorker thing that we just did?
Because the arm is sliding and you're going to catch the ladies, you're going to catch your partner's hand. Think of it more like the rock step in swing before you went into your sweetheart cuddle, where you're just creating space but you're not changing direction at all.
So it's mainly about whether or not I catch the hand, the
Yes.
right hand. So if I miss,
Well,
I put myself into a New Yorker.
no. This is going to be a really important point for the follows, is not anticipating. So even in a New Yorker, when I have the second half of my basics, I have 2, 3, and you're bringing that hand down. I am still facing you until you start that rotation on 2.
Okay.
So this hand signal does not mean New Yorker. It actually means nothing. It's just preparing to put me into a different position.
Okay.
You could lower that hand down and we could do a back rock, which would be our 5th position breaks. Or you could use it to create a shoulder to shoulder action or an open break action or a lead into a natural, like there's a wide variety of steps that lowering that hand signals.
I would hazard to guess that I can't lead you into any of those things. But.
Sure. But from a follows perspective, that hand lowering just means that we're doing something that's not the basic. So until you bring that hand across and create rotation, I don't know what's coming next, and I shouldn't anticipate what's coming next.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So what I was saying is, as you take that step to your right for 4 and 1, you're going to lower into a 2-hand hold and make sure that you have both hands. Then from here you can go either into your lock step or your run step. So we can go 2, 3, run, 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 back, rock, forward, lock, 2, 3, backwards, lock, 2, 3, run, run, run. Whatever you want to do. At the point that you want to switch back to your side basic, on your rock step, as you come out of your forward on your left, you're just going to lift that hand to the left and direct your partner to take a side basic so that you can bring them back into hold.
Okay.
We're going to go through that super slow.
You're going to need to.
And we're going to take like 3 steps forward. There we go.
Beach ball.
Yep. So we're going to do 1 basic. Second half of that basic, you're going to switch to a 2-hand hold.
Okay.
So we have
that part I've got.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Very nice. We're going to do 2 full sets of forward and back.
Okay.
So we have 2.
Oh, no.
Rock step first. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. That's okay.
Let's walk through this a little bit slower. So from this rock step.
Yeah.
So rock step.
2, 3.
Is this one the back?
4. Yes.
So I walk with that one.
Yep. And then release. Good.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, and 1. Good. 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1. Good. Pause right here. You're going to take your rock step. As you do so, when you shift your weight back, you're going to start lifting this hand. 2, 3, 4, and 1. And I'll pop right back into your closed hold.
Okay.
Let's turn 90 degrees and try that again. So we'll do 1 basic, then 2 forward and back, and then a basic coming out of it.
Okay, say those again. I'm sorry.
1 side basic, 2 sets forward and back, 1 side basic.
Okay.
So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Good. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 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 2, 3, 4, and 1.
I fell hard on that one.
Yeah, so definitely make sure that you're going directly to the side because the follows momentum is going to want to take her forward.
Yeah.
So if you do anything that's not a harsh 90 degree or a harsh L, it's not going to work. So definitely make sure that you are being very aware of where your angles are. This is definitely a side basic that goes directly east-west and a forward and back basic that goes directly north-south.
Okay.
Let's try putting all 3 patterns together and then we'll end with a chase turn. So let's do 2 basics, a full set of New Yorkers, 2 basics, 2 forward and back, 2 basics.
Okay.
So 2 basics, full set of New Yorkers, 2 basics, forward and back. You can choose, dealer's choice, whether you want to do runs or lock steps, and then 2 side to side.
Okay. Are we doing it this way then?
Yeah.
Okay.
and 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. New Yorkers. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 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 4 and 1, 2, 3. Basic. 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3. Forward and back. 2, 3, 4
I
and
forgot
1.
the hands down. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Take it from that rock step.
All right.
2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3. Side basic. 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1.
Okay.
Nice.
I forgot the hand change there in the middle. But
That's okay. That's all right. Any questions?
no.
Okay. I'm going to have you talk to the lovely folks at home for half a second while I get some water.
Sure. So the part that Sam is not saying is that she just did all of that with me at probably 50% of the speed that it's actually going to be whenever the music starts. And I'm not going to be able to keep up with any of this. But we'll see.
You're doing all right. You're doing all right. If folks have any questions in the chat, or if we lost you along the way, please put comments, put questions, put clarifications, and we will address those here in a moment.
All right.
Chase turn, last pattern.
Oh, I'm not going to do that with music yet?
Do you want to do that with music?
Is it going to be materially faster than what we just did?
It will be the same tempo difference that we were doing earlier with the basic and the New Yorker.
Do you think I'm going to have trouble doing it at the regular speed?
Potentially.
Then we should probably practice it before you
All
add something
right,
else.
all right. Okay.
Are we still doing this way?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like you should step it a little bit forward. Just because there's a corner there. Beach ball.
So, step behind you.
Yeah. Beach ball.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. New Yorkers. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 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 4 and 1. Forward and back. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3. Side basic. 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4
All right.
and 1.
Oh, yeah, that was. I think the biggest issue right now is after we finish the New Yorker
Yeah.
and do that pivot,
Yes.
I feel like you're elsewhere. That's probably me being too slow.
It could be that I'm just taking it at a different angle because of this corner.
I don't know. But I feel like as I'm coming out of that, I end up playing a catch-up game to get to you.
Well, let's try just a basic into the New Yorkers then. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 4 and 1. New Yorker. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 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 4 and 1.
Yeah, I think that might be me being a half step behind. That's probably the biggest problem.
There we go. Okay. And that is something that just the more that you get comfortable with cha-cha,
Sure.
the easier that'll be.
All right, so you said there was one more thing.
One more pattern. So these are called chase turns. They are beloved by Hollywood when they want to put cha-cha in their choreography. I find them kind of silly, but there you go. They are a fun, playful pattern, and cha-cha is nothing if not fun and playful.
Okay.
So, I'm going to go over the leads footwork first, and then we'll go over the follows footwork. I'm going to do this facing the camera so that you can tell left and right a little bit clearer, hopefully. So we're in our forward and back basic. I'm going to be doing these as a lock step. So I have 2, 3, locking step, 2, 3, locking step. As I am about to go forward on my left, I'm going to let go of my partner's hands, step forward on my left, pivot and turn to my right, shift my weight to my right foot, and then step forward on my left, cross behind, step forward left. Then I'm going to step forward right for 2, turn to my left shoulder, shift my weight forward for 3, and then lock step forward again, right foot, 4 and 1. So I have forward 2, turn 3, 4 and 1, step 2, turn 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4 and 1. Very quickly for those that might be practicing the run variation, I have 2, 3, run, 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 2, 3, run, run, run. I step 2, pivot 3, run, 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 step 2, pivot 3, run, 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 2, 3, run, 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 2, 3, and run, run, run. Follows. We are doing the same thing, but we are turning in opposition to our partner. That's a really important thing for both people to know, both the lead and the follow. You are not turning the same direction at the same time. You are not turning the same direction at the same time. And it's an important thing to just know up front. So we step backwards on our right, 2, 3, I have a forward lock, 2, 3, I have a back lock. My partner is going to turn first for 2, 3. I just have a normal rock step. And I have forward on my right for 4 and 1. I step forward on my left for 2, turn to my right, 3, and then lock step forward on my left, 4 and 1. Step forward on my right, turn to my left, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. So for Matt and I in our space, you are always going to be turning towards the stairwell and the TV.
Wait. So I'm turning clockwise sometimes and counterclockwise other times.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That may have been what I was already doing. I'm not sure. But.
Yeah. So you are always going to turn to face this half of our room.
Okay.
I, as the follow, am always turning to face this half of the room.
Is there a reason for that?
Yes, it's because the foot that you have, we are always stepping in opposition from each other. So the foot that you're going forward on and the foot that I'm going forward on are not the same.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Which means we're flipping.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So let's try this really slowly together. We're still going to be in this 2-hand hold.
Okay.
We're going to start from one basic, one forward and back basic. So you're going forward on your left to start. 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3. You're going to let go. You're going to turn 2, 3, 4 and 1, 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 2, 3, 4 and 1. And then whenever you want to get out of it, one partner just needs to not turn.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wasn't sure when this was supposed to stop.
Yes. So either partner can choose to get out of this. If you're dancing with me on a social dance floor, it's almost always going to be me that chooses to get out of it first. But either partner can. You just need to not turn.
So I would just stop.
You would just stop and do a normal rock step on your left.
Okay.
Yes. The only way that let me rephrase that. You need to make sure that you stop turning when you would still be facing your partner if you don't turn. In other words, if I stop turning here and I'm facing away from Matt, that's going to cause issues.
Sure.
Or if you stop as you're turned with your back to me, that's also going to cause issues. So
it seems to make sense.
yeah,
That would be a problem.
so when you have eyes on your partner, you can choose to just do a rock step instead to get out of it. In which case you'd establish your 2-hand hold, maybe do a basic or 2 forward and back, and then
Is it down
switch
here?
to the side.
Down here.
Down here, because we're not
Okay.
turning.
Okay.
Let's try just our chase turns one more time together, and then we'll put this whole thing together in a practice pattern.
Okay.
So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1.
Oh, are we not doing the basic
4
ones?
and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3.
Nope.
You got to turn. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 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 1.
That was a little rough.
Yeah, not the prettiest,
No,
Not the prettiest in the
not
punch.
really.
but not terrible.
Yeah.
Do you understand the concept at least?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions on it?
Well, no, because I didn't do it well enough to have any questions.
Do you want to do it one more
yeah,
time?
we should probably do it one more time.
Okay.
Where I don't miss most of the cues.
Okay, so we're starting.
Oh, we're gonna start here.
Yep.
So are we doing a regular back and forward before we do this, or are we just going right into it?
Forward and back first.
Okay.
Yep. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 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 1.
Okay, that seemed okay, I guess. I think we take different sized steps.
We do.
That creates some gap when you stop turning, but
It does a little bit.
Yeah.
Again, I would say practice. The more you get used to dancing with your partner, the
Mhm.
more kind of homogenous your steps are going to end up being.
yeah. And is it, I assume, the case that I just take very large steps?
You take very large steps, which is
Yeah.
why you feel like you are behind on the count when the beat gets faster.
Yeah, probably.
So let's put that whole thing together. So we'll do 2 side basics,
Mm-hmm.
a full set of crossover breaks,
Okay.
2 side basics, switching to a 2-hand hold, 2 full sets forward and back, a couple of chase turns, and then we'll get out of it with a side basic.
Okay.
All
You're
right?
gonna announce those as we're
I will-
about to do them, right?
I will call those out. Yes.
Okay. Beach ball.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. Crossover. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 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 4 and basic. 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. We'll switch forward and back. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. Chase turn. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3. Where'd you go?
I'm not really sure. I think after I turned, and then you turned so you were no longer looking at me, I forgot what I was supposed to be doing.
Okay. Well,
Let's do that little piece again if we can.
Okay,
No, we'll just start.
just from here.
Yeah.
Do you want a basic before you go into your turns?
Yeah, probably. I think that's where the problem is the transition where I'm supposed to go from this to actually turning.
Okay. Alright, then we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 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 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1,
No.
2, 3.
Oh, okay.
You were late to committing to a side basic.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I came like diagonally towards you just for half a second, but that was fine.
I'm a little bit slow all the time.
That was fine. So. You're also doing the panic, like,
what?
F it.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to do to appear classy when I...
Just gently let go of the hands. Just, there you go. That's all it needs. Exactly.
And then spin.
And then spin.
Okay.
Yeah. Step forward on your left.
Wait, yeah, that was... yeah, I got you.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. So what else?
So that's it for today. Did you want to try it with music once?
Oh God, no.
Okay. All right. We will save. We'll come over and chat with you guys for a second. I'm gonna have Matt once again talk to the chat for half a second while I get some water, and then we can switch off.
Sure. So we ended up doing cha-cha today. I've attempted to propose different things for next week.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of my suggestions have taken.
What do you want to do next week?
I don't know yet. I just want the right to make a suggestion. I don't necessarily want to make a suggestion.
Do you want to know what my recommendations for options would be?
Sure.
Okay. So you are very focused on checking off your 6, right?
I feel like that's the thing to do.
Okay.
It's like, we live in Utah, there's a series of state parks, you're supposed to go to all of them. Maybe not right now, but in general, you're supposed to go to all of them.
Don't go to them right now.
You check the box.
Okay. Do you want to finish one that you already know, or do you want to start one that you have not started yet?
That's a good question. I think I'd rather start new things.
Okay.
That speaks to my heart. That's who I am as a person. I don't finish things. But more, I think, if we get more advanced into the steps, it's going to become very apparent how bad I am at them.
Okay.
If we stay to the first 3 steps, they all seem to be about the same.
Okay.
So presumably I should be getting good at them at some point.
One would think. That's the hope.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've done our 3 rhythm dances. Started with rumba, then we did East Coast swing, we just did cha-cha tonight. That leaves your 3 smooth or 3 traveling dances. So that is your waltz, tango, and foxtrot. Yes, we will be adapting them for teeny tiny space.
Yeah.
And we might be moving the camera setup as well. I'm going to play with some angles over the weekend to see how we can get more of this floor on camera, which might help.
We're going to get a little fancy over the weekend.
Yeah, we're going to get a tech upgrade over the weekend, hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, we have better equipment than this, but it's been really hard to get all of the pieces to make it work because of everyone working from home and everybody's out of stock of stuff.
Yeah, turns out when you send everybody to work from home, everybody needs things.
Yeah, suddenly getting things like HDMI cables becomes really difficult.
Yeah. But yes, so your 3 options would be waltz, tango, foxtrot. Do not fool yourself into thinking the things that we did for the wedding waltz will help you in any way, shape, or form if we do waltz.
No, I feel like you were pretty clear about that one. And I find the idea of a waltz to be the least appealing.
Okay. I can
so
support
one of
that.
the other 2. I'm going to say no to foxtrot because I really don't like the music.
Aww.
It's so boring.
Have you heard tango music?
Well, it has, I don't know. It has more soul to it.
I guess.
I guess passion is probably the right word for tango, but...
But you like, what's the steampunk group?
Oh, I don't know. Is that
Not
foxtrot?
Not Postmodern Jukebox, the other group.
I don't know. Is that foxtrot?
Some of their stuff is
Maybe
foxtrot. We can't play any of it.
Yeah, I don't like any of the stuff that you wouldn't be able to play in the first place.
Okay.
Maybe it's because we're married. I've heard so much Frank Sinatra that if I never hear the man sing another song, I'll be fine with that.
I like Frank Sinatra.
It's just, it's the same shit in every song. I guess because they're all foxtrots. I don't know, but...
Potentially. So tango then.
Yeah.
Okay. So a week from today, 7 p.m., we are doing American Basic Tango.
Why do you call attention to American?
Because there's American, International, and Argentine.
Okay. Is American the easy one?
Depends on your perspective.
What do you think my perspective would be?
Yes.
Okay.
So Argentine requires the lead to be very good, clear, and educated.
Those are 3 words that certainly on this stream I would not apply to myself.
Yeah. Being a lead in Argentine tango is really difficult. Also, whenever we do our waltz and our foxtrot, American tango is going to be more similar.
Mm-hmm.
International tango versus American tango, from a bass standpoint, there's not a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Putting a lot of asterisks after that statement. American allows you to break hold and break frame. And
okay.
The 4th pattern that I typically teach breaks frame. So that puts it square in the American category.
Okay. Mm.
Both, I think, are equally applicable if you are social dancing. International has a reputation for being more competitive focused. American tango or American smooth has a reputation for being more like Hollywood showcase, fun, social.
Mm.
That does not mean that one is more so than the other, or that the international can't be fun and showcasey, or that American isn't competitive, because they both are. They both have their highlights and their strong suits. But from a beginner's perspective, in my experience, American Smooth has been a little bit more interesting. It's been faster paced, not from a tempo perspective, but from a I feel like I'm getting somewhere perspective. So
you've sold me.
Beginners tend to like it a little bit more.
You've sold me.
Okay. So American Tango on Friday.
Yep. And what was Wednesday?
Wednesday. So I know that I think Max was in the chat earlier. Hopefully he's still around for this earth-shattering statement, because he's going to have a heart attack when I say it. Wednesday, for our wedding lesson, we are going to be doing nightclub two-step. Normally there would be like air horns and sirens that go off around me when I say
We can
that.
probably edit that in.
Yeah. For the YouTube clip, we'll just put some...
Yeah, okay, but what is it?
So Nightclub Two-Step, we talked about it a little bit at the end of Wednesday's stream.
Mm-hmm.
It is a country ballroom dance.
It
used to be a country ballroom dance. Now it's just generally social.
Yeah.
Softer, groovier, works with slower R&B music.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely its own thing. At least from the ballroom end of the world, it has some connections to what we were doing with our modified Viennese waltz. For those of you that maybe have done samba in the past, I tend to pull a lot from samba.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a good kind of middle pattern where you want something that feels a little bit more educated than the 13-year-old shuffle, but you don't want to go whole hog into like pure ballroom end of the world.
So Wednesday country music, Friday tango.
It's not country music. It's soft Marvin Gaye type music.
Mm.
And then yes, we'll do American Tango on Friday.
All right.
Yeah. We'll hang out for like a minute or two more. So if folks want to ask any questions, whether they're dance related or just life related, we can certainly do that. If not, go enjoy your Friday night. It's a Friday night, which means it's the weekend, which means nothing anymore because all of the days are blending together and there's no clear distinction between weekday and weekend, which is fun. So much fun. Matt kind of mentioned and we talked about the fact that we're hopefully getting a tech upgrade this weekend. So hopefully the yellowness that is currently going on will be lessened. Hopefully we'll have a little bit better quality dance cam for the stream and all of those wonderful steps. Hopefully, assuming everything gets plugged in correctly and things do the thing that we're hoping they will. And then I have some ideas for adding a Monday morning stream, maybe, possibly. So if for the handful of people that are still hanging out, let me know either on Instagram or Facebook, or if I know you in real life then, let me know if you would be interested in a like coffee talk, state of the dance world, bring in other instructors or studio owners to kind of chat about how they are adapting business during this time, things that they want their students to be focusing on, mindset when it comes to teaching dance, kind of industry stuff more so than instructional stuff. So if that would interest you, let me know. Instagram, Facebook, text message, etc.
And that'll give you a co-streamer that's competent, probably.
It'll give me a co-streamer that's not you, which is going to make you happy.
There is that.
Yeah. It gives Matt a break because he has been doing more dance in the last 3 weeks than you have done in the 9 years that we've been together.
Yeah.
Including getting ready for our wedding.
Yeah, probably. I would say that all of the prep for our wedding was pretty much the rumba lesson that you did the very first stream.
Yeah, it absolutely was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, it took longer though.
Oh goodness. Oh, well, there you go. So A, the chat is quiet at the moment, which means nobody has questions in my mind. And B, my computer just let me know that I'm on 15% battery life. So, I think we'll sign off here. Matt's got his drink. We've got to figure out dinner. I don't have wine in my house. We might see if we can get wine. There's currently a wine spiral challenge.
A what?
If I've got any dancers left in the chat or that come across this video later on, go on Facebook and search wine, like the drink, spiral, as in the dance move, challenge. I might be posting a video if we can get our hands on a bottle of wine in the next week or so. If you don't know what a spiral is, I do Skype lessons, and I would be happy to tell you. But it is a dance move, and there is currently a fun challenge that is replacing, I think, the Michigan Dance Sport Challenge, because it got postponed and canceled because of all of this craziness. But yeah, it's interesting. Go find it online. All right, we'll sign off. We will see you Wednesday, 7 p.m. for Wedding Nightclub Two-Step. Bye, guys.